Aloha, friends and neighbors. Welcome to program 906. Gee, 906 weeks I've been doing this. SkyMirrorAstrology.com. Say it, Sky Mirror Astrology. You're used to the Sky Mirror, right? And this program's called Astrology, Ancient Science in the Modern World. So, SkyMirrorAstrology.com gets you the app website, which I think is the most important thing to happen for a long time. And SkyMirrorAstrology.com/TV gets you to my website that has a honu, a turtle, looking up at the planets. It's wonderful. And you can get the show anytime, and the past shows too. So I noticed that we're all going to have problems with Uranus. You're in an electric month, April, and you're in the middle of it. You're in a panicky month, aren't you? Yeah. So I wanted to say, get the app. It's $5. It's going to be improved a lot. The man's working on it, and soon you can operate it with your finger and stuff. But I was reflecting this morning on what is it that, you know, after 50 years of, well, 45 years of studying and 30 years of active, aggressive use of astrology, what do I use it for mostly? What do I do? And the people around me, and basically you're checking the chart of now because you're going to call somebody and it's important. Or you're going to, you know, I like to go for walks down to Magic Sands here to rehab my health a little bit. And I've learned that if I go down in the morning when Venus is right at the top of the chart, I give her 1 or 2 degrees. And I go down to the wall to look at the sand and the ocean and see, you know, and there is a pretty girl. There's a Venus. Yeah. When she was in Capricorn, some delightful older Venus ladies. But anyway, if I go down about 3 o'clock, Venus is on the descendant, the other side of the chart from your rising sign. That's what is descending in the chart at the time. If it was dark, you'd see Venus setting. Okay, and when something's over there on the other side of the chart from your rising, you're going to meet them. And sure enough, 3 o'clock I go down there, and the beautiful girls kind of come up and get really close and look at me or talk to me, or, you know, they're much more personally engaged and a lot closer. Well, if you're going to go for a walk, you might as well, you know, make it the best you can. I enjoy watching pretty girls. The other day I had to go up to the store and do a bunch of shopping, and I looked at the chart and there was Saturn over here opposing. And I said, oh man, I don't know if I want to meet Saturn or not. I waited till he went by the descendant, so he's not really actively hitting on the body, which is the descendant number. So he'd done 2-3 degrees. Okay, off I went. So am I going to meet Saturn? Yeah, I'm halfway through my shopping. I'm looking at some bananas, and a very nice older gentleman comes by, white-haired, tall guy from the mainland, and he's looking at the bananas. You know, apple bananas are $1.57 a pound, and he looks at me and says, you know, in Minnesota these are 33 cents a pound. And I said, yeah, but you know, you're getting them from South America. These are apple bananas, and they're grown on the island. They're kind of special. I said, there's no telling what's in the South American bananas, and he smiled. So there was Saturn opposing the rising sign, and I had this little engagement. I got to meet Saturn, huh? In this case, he was quite nice. He was trying to help me out a little bit and say, these are really expensive bananas. Well, the point I'm making is what we use around here the most is the app. Because I have it on my main computer. It's called, you know, the real-time clock. And it moves, you know, as time goes along. And wow, we use it all the time. So we're really not using astrology to figure out why Aunt Minnie has that peculiar tick, you know, or something. I mean, you can do stuff like that, but it's not what we're using it for. We're using it to start things. I recall that in Greek towns there was a chart up. They had a big clock that had the zodiac signs, and it was really a chart. And the businessmen would go out to the square, and they would wait until, you know, Capricorn was rising and Saturn was smiling and sextile the moon, and they'd all stand around in the square, and when the rising sign changed, click, they'd all start writing contracts and doing business for a couple hours. So when you do things is the most important thing. That's the most important thing in life. When you start things. If you start things all pissed off, you're going to have a pissed off chart. Look out. Sharps and hots. Mars will get you. So you want to start things when the butterfly comes through and the bird, you know, gives you a little song, and when you have a happy heart, and wow, life goes better. So you can do it with omens, you know, in a Zen way, yes. But it's a lot more accurate and sure to have it on your phone. SkyMirrorAstrology.com. $5. How can you miss? Anyway, we have a hell of a month here. If I can say it, the shit has hit the fan for April. And so we got to pay attention to the sky mirror. And let's go and get after it. Come on. Well, what's happening in the sky mirror? SkyMirrorAstrology.com. And you got the app. Yeah. SkyMirrorAstrology.com/TV. And you can get all the shows you want. I tell you this because it's clear that some of the public access stations are not that dependable. Oahu switches things around. Maui's kind of going that way. These are people who program by politics. Kauai and the Big Island are nice, solid, good folks, but the others, so you got to start getting into the internet. Watching the show on the internet is kind of politics free, and there's going to be more interesting stuff on the internet. Little short lessons on astrology to operate your app, for instance. Anyway, think SkyMirrorAstrology.com for the app, /TV for the show, and you won't miss them that way. By the way, when you use the app, you also get all the sky mirrors. This portion you're about to see, they run about 10 minutes. So with your app, you can, you can run through the last week's sky mirror, this week's sky mirror. You can look at the days. The app is for looking at the minute, mostly. What a look at this thing. Colorful, huh? First, here's Pluto. He's raging from where you are. I think Monday, Pluto stops. Eek, a bug. The sharks are out. The volcanoes are out. There's a sense of panic in the air. Yes. And you know what? Depending on your location, this whole chart, goes around once every 24 hours, right? That's what the sky does, going around the Earth. And when this Pluto here is up on the angle about 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 1 a.m. and 7 p.m., and this Pluto hits the north, south, east, west, the angles, you will feel panicky. Yeah, a little panicky, even if it's just a short thing. That's why I say, eek, a bug. I get mosquitoes and bugs, and the big flying cockroach lands right on you. Eek, a bug. So other people will have more reasons to have this little flight or fight mechanism kick in when Pluto is strong. That's what it's doing. It's empowering your reptile mind. Good time for research, for diving deep into things. There's a positive side to this guy. Normally I would be touting that, except when he does his thing, he's squaring Uranus. Uranus wants to do his thing. This is Sherlock Holmes and all the reptiles of the world. Uranus, there's the higher mind. Uranus is technical things, astrology. Here's your working man. Here's the masses of people and the Aquarian age, and here's Woodstock and all of us lumped in. Now this has been going on since the first of the month. We had a new moon here, and so we got emphasis. He wants to do some things. We want to reform some stuff here. Yes, but when they try to do things, there's a square. Pluto steps in. The crocodile says, you can't be so innovative. You can't step out of line. No. Down here is Jupiter, who's kind of the dupe of the whole thing. Poor Jove, the lawyers, professors say, wait a minute, don't pull your gun. Wait a minute, don't put that on the internet. But, nobody listens. They're going to go and do their own thing. And Jupiter, the Cancer guy here, you better get out of the way. It gets downright mean because later on, you're in the middle of April to get another week. Here's Mars going backwards, going from 18 degrees back to 14. Now it's noticeable Pluto is stopping at 13 degrees. Uranus is stopping at 13 degrees. Mercury sets it off at 13 degrees. But most of all, Mars. When Mars gets to 13, 14 is close enough. This whole thing lights up on fire, and there's fighting, and there's anger, and there's action, physical action. So, think you're nervous now? Horns honking, things beeping, electronics out, the wind knocked down your cable TV line. There could be all kinds of things could happening to you personally. Everybody's having it, folks, in some way or the other. We're all in this tension and expect disruption. Just got to get along best you can. And to that point, let's take a look at this day by day. Now, bearing in mind that this square goes angular 4 times a day, if you're sensitive to it, if you've got planets lying in there at 9, 10, 13 degrees, whoa, stuff's going to happen. If you're there Thursday night on the 10th, well, there's an opposition to Venus. You can't have the sweets. There's no love. They trashed your romance. Yep. Here's the opposition to Neptune. The whole thing is kind of fuzzy, isn't it, Thursday night? Easy to get lost. Easy to pig out, too. You drink a little bit here, and before you know it, you ate much too much sugar, and you're having a real bad night Thursday. So, mind your desires Thursday night into Friday morning, April 11th, and things get more real. The moon's in Virgo during this whole adventure, and it's kind of earthy. And here's the trine to Pluto, and Sherlock Holmes comes on board and says, oh yeah, let's discover something on this Friday morning, middle of the day. Here's a sextile to Jupiter. Truth and wisdom comes out. Something's going on somewhere. It continues through Friday night into Saturday morning. Here's a nice sextile to Saturn, and it kind of gets earthy and practical, and there's some good sense going on here Friday and Saturday. Maybe politicians are getting their act together. So altogether, this moon in Virgo period, Saturday and Friday, 12th and the 11th, kind of a breath of fresh air. Things are moving along kind of smoothly, but the action's up ahead. And once the moon goes into Libra after dinner, Saturday the 12th, it all changes. And it becomes a big zappy electric, getting stuck, having tension phenomenon, most of which occurs later on Sunday, but Uranus is famous for going off early. And the moon's opposing Uranus. Eek. So, as it goes through Sunday, more and more battery failures and electrical things, high winds. Uranus is acting up, and he could scare people. Sometimes things like quakes are very scary, or high wind. Wind, makes a lot of noise and thrashes things around, and is very scary too. And there could even be oddball stuff. When you see a UFO, scares you. There could be some UFOs down in Mexico, yes. And Pluto, sudden eruptions and volcanoes, and it all feels a little bit panicky here Sunday night and right through Monday. And the moon's going to hit Mars, and we all feel like going into action. Oh, we got to do something. Let's fix something. Where's the heroes? And you feel angry. Where's it? Territoriality is the mark of the beast here. The beast being your reptile mind. This is my territory. This is my seat. This is my space. Anyway, This is angry. This is warlike. This could be very difficult. The people here could be very angry, upset, and hard to dislodge them from their ideas and their angriness. The key, ask yourself what you're protecting, Mars. Yes. So, getting through Monday won't be easy. Monday night, here's a opposition to the sun. Here's the full moon. Late Monday night at 25 Libra. Doesn't do anybody much good either. In fact, here's the south node early Tuesday morning, late Monday night. And that's like, we all need help. Geez, after Sunday, Monday, we're all going to feel like we need help. The space doesn't clear up until you get past, maybe breakfast time here Tuesday. The moon shifts into Scorpio, and it starts to feel a little better again. Things do settle down. Tuesday night, here's a nice trine to Neptune. There's inspiration, sensitivity. Here's Venus. There's some pleasure and love around, too. Happens early in the morning, Wednesday, the 16th. Truth and wisdom and discovery. There's Jupiter and Pluto and Venus and Neptune. All kind of making goodies here. And it does feel goodies. Feels nice and calm. Now, as you go towards Wednesday night, here's Saturn. Here's dinner time, and after dinner the moon goes by Saturn, and it gets cold, and we got to be practical about this stuff, and I hope you settle down and make a good plan. That's what's necessary then. It continues right through Thursday morning, and in the middle of the day the moon shifts into Sagittarius, and the vibes change a little bit, starting with a lot of confusion. Here's the square to Neptune. We lost everything. Things are gone. What happened? And the square to Venus, Thursday night, Friday morning, and the romance is destroyed, and the sugar got polluted, and etc. It clears up a little bit when the moon makes a trine to Uranus, but that's not till before lunch. And here's a sextile to Mars. We've got action. Once we understand the technicalities, then you can fix things, and that's what Friday is all about on the 18th. Saturday the 19th continues things in the same vein. We got a nice sextile to Mercury, so communication, transportation is operating pretty well. And we've got a plan, and we're getting stuff done Saturday morning, right through until after lunch. Then the moon shifts into Capricorn. Things change again. You're in the zap zone. Zap, 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 zap. Electricity's going off. Panic, panic. The moon doesn't go. The moon goes by Pluto, and the sharks are out, and the bugs are biting, and everybody's being a reptile. Yeah, you could be a good reptile. All reptiles aren't bad, But here you are in the zap zone, and there's going to be quakes. This is a time when a big solar flare could really bugger up all the computers, because you're having problems with computers, electrical things. I hope it's the NSA spy satellites that get taken down. That would be a nice thing to do with Pluto here. Maybe this is a bunch of people who are revolutionaries on the high-tech side, and they're going to go after the Pentagon here and get into their control computers. I don't know what it is, because everybody's all angry and up in arms here, and their arms. And Sunday, 4/20, there's going to be some war break out in different parts of the world. Fights, and I would call them, not necessarily wars. So it's a difficult time, isn't it? Sure is. And when you look at the whole thing and you see that this happens, once a week, you see it's happening on Sunday afternoons, Sunday nights. You could be ready for it a little bit. And if you notice what time of day it hits you, and basically the more difficult time would be when Pluto is over here on the descendant, and that's around 10 a.m. or so. And so, that's when you want to swat him. And, look out, that's a yellow jacket, not a bee. Don't swat him. He'll get angry. The other time that you might find difficult is when Pluto's at the bottom of the chart. And that would be, a couple hours before sunset. And he's in your home, and You can't get those yellow jackets out of the house. Eek. Finally, when Pluto is rising, it's on the rising sign here. That's about 2 hours before midnight, about 10 p.m. or so. It's when you feel like being a reptile. Get out of my territory, or I'm going to bite you, or I'm going to sting you, or I'm going to do something. That's the general vibes for the times you're in. And comes on quick. It's very surprising. I hope you get through it okay. Think of it like a movie. With this movie this month is an action figure with lots of zombies and electrical failures and breakdowns of society and kabug. Okay, now for something different. I want to look at President Obama's chart. I'm of the Woodstock generation, and we have been jailed and stopped from working and ostracized by the older World War II generation, mainly with the drug war. Now it happens that 16 senators wrote President Obama and said, hey, take pot off Schedule 1, stop this dreadful, war on our own citizens. And in fact, the citizens that are the most talented and the most experimental. So this has been like a week since he got that letter, and I haven't heard of any results yet. And so I decided to look at President Obama's chart and see what's hanging him up. And here's the chart. Now right away I noticed Chiron, he wants to be a helper, opposes Pluto. There are forces, trying to keep him down, squaring the moon. He's got a T-square here that stops him from helping people occasionally and helping stuff. He's got a good Neptune at 8 Scorpio, and there's a lot of trines and sextiles to it. It's up in the 9th house. So, he ought to be able to do something about this. I'm sure he knows what's right. I believe the man is got great insight here. Well, as I would with your chart, first I always check progressions. These are the slow-moving things around the outer circle, a year for a day. Each day equals 1 year. And Mr. Obama, the sun is progressed sun's trining his moon. He's been working on health. The moon rules his 6th house of health. How about Neptune here? Can we get something besides gay rights? I'm really against legislating sexuality. I'm sorry, I don't care about gays, but okay, here's a progressed moon. 6 Taurus, so it's going to oppose Neptune, but first it's going to trine Pluto, and it already sextiled just 3 weeks ago Chiron, so he's in a helping mood, and there are people in the public who's trying to help him and do this executive action, because this is Pluto. He's got Scorpio rules his 10th house, so this guy can do executive action like a dictator. So the time is upon us. It looks like we've got about 1 month until he's ready to do something, and hopefully it will be about the pot problem. And what are they going to do with all that money and houses and things that have been confiscated and all those people in jail, huh? Jeez. Okay, now here I've switched. I got President Obama's chart in the center. It's the same I would do if I do a chart reading for you on DVD. And the second stage is I put transiting planets. These are the planets in the sky. These move much more quickly. And here's look at that. There's Neptune over there in the sky. And that certainly has to do with the truth about stuff like pot. And it's going by Chiron, which is maybe why, anyway, here we got the trine to Neptune coming up, which is very nice. Here is Venus moving down here to conjunct Chiron, and that could be the time when he loves to help, I would say. and that happens, let's see, Venus, that happens around the 10th, 11th of April. Looking at my old ephemeris here, and there's Venus moving down into Pisces, There it is, 6-7 degrees. So when it trines Neptune at 8 degrees, there's a window here. It extends from about the 10th of April to about the 14th of April, right smack in the middle of our crisis month. Oh boy. You know, the worst thing about this period is that all these planets that are raising hell with this are going to come back to this place at the end of the year. So any damage that's done, ooh. What else we got here? Jupiter. Well, anyway, that's the best window for him to help this situation. Is, you know, been overlooked by everybody, it seems, is pandering to the gay crowd right now. Why do they get all the publicity? Jeez. Why doesn't somebody question that here we are legislating sexuality again? What a dumb thing. Government has no business in your bedroom or in your food situation either. Our nutrition is a mess because that government is in here doing things and they got no business doing that. Here's a good example. They say that sugar, the molecule is sugar is sugar is sugar no matter what. And my goodness, it isn't. Well, the sugar molecule is, okay? It's true. Any sugar your body handles the same way. The thing is, it doesn't have the B vitamins with it. And that's the kicker. And that's the great lie. Without the B vitamins, all the sugar just eats up your B vitamins and makes you feel crazy. Well, you're in the midst of all kind of crisis, I'm sure. Here's the kicker. If anything does come down here, and I'm hoping that it'll all be opposing each other and get locked up, but if we have a big earthquake or volcanic damage or something, these planets are all going backwards and coming back up here at the end of the year. So the damage doesn't get fixed, you know, for a long time. In other words, if we have accidents and stuff at this time, whoa, you know, it's going to be a long time fixing them. Hopefully, it's just a bunch of little solar flares and a few earthquakes. And anyway, hey, here's my chart. And here's my moon. My digestion at the bottom very strong. But it is a square to Mars. And all my life I've been plagued by my sleep being disturbed because I eat too late. Finally, age 73, I learned the truth. Carbohydrates your body needs during the day, you should eat them in the morning. At night, just eat meat. Your body doesn't want carbs. It wants meat to repair protein. And then you won't get indigestion. Truth.